Anyone wish to be heard today, recognize the Speaker of the House.
Members of the body, I just want to make you aware of something that's going through the legislature right now. You may or may not be aware of it. Yesterday, when we had 2, 3, or 4 standing ovations for our governor, one of the things he talked about was his transportation plan, something that went from the House, it's in the Senate. It provides a framework for identifying areas where you may want to use tolls to advance road projects that otherwise may be 10, 15, 20 years down the road soon. That framework has been passed over to the Senate. And that framework actually requires the DOT to go down to the local governing bodies, local elected officials, to ultimately decide if they want to authorize their project through a deliberative, public, well-vetted, representative process. The effect of this resolution would basically be, any senator who's in the room today, to kill the governor's transportation plan, which he's held out as one of his first. Yes, because it's actually in the plan. I mean, it's in the bill that this is a mechanism, this is an option. So to do this, the net effect is you telling your duly elected senators and the House members who are here who voted for the transportation plan that you're going to hold them accountable for something that the governor wants, that he firmly believes to the DOT is an essential option. It's only an option. It still requires local elected officials to vote for it. If you don't want it, vote out the local elected officials who support the tolls and put people in who don't, and then figure out how to pay for the roads, if it happens to be something that makes sense. But the net effect of this resolution is sending a message to the governor that you want to kill one of his 3 major initiatives that have come out this year. It's not like he's going to put hot lanes all over the place. We've already passed a bill that will not allow tolls to be put on existing roads. In other words, the lanes that are already there, that have already been paid for by taxpayer dollars and gas taxes, cannot be tolled. It's against the law. I was a supporter of that bill. I believe it was House Bill 267. They cannot be tolled. This is about trying to find a way to collect revenue that we don't have. The House and the Senate cut the gas tax. You wanted it cut, we cut it. The effect of that is hundreds of millions of dollars over time that we've got to make cuts on. As we move forward, and as this state grows, as we add another 1 billion people over the next 10 years, we've got to find a way to have an infrastructure that allows businesses and industry and everybody else to grow. Without that, this state will not grow. Although the majority of the cost and the risk associated with building the road was incurred by a consortium which won't actually issue the bonds to do it. So then we could either renegotiate it with the concessionaire and continue the revenue. Now here's the other thing about hot lanes. The agreement with these concessionaires is to have a reasonable rate of return, but it's fairly low for them to pay for the road. If they underachieve, tough luck. If they overachieve, a portion of that money stays within the transportation district where the toll was collected and is used to improve the general purpose lane. In fact, the tolling agreement, even for I-77, allows for an additional general purpose lane to be built. You have to renegotiate it with the concessionaire, but that's possible. But only in that corridor are you really limited to building any new capacity. On 21, that runs adjacent to 77 or parallel to it, you could add a 7-lane highway there legally by virtue of the contract that we put together. But I'm telling you, until we find another way to find roads, I hate tolls too. I use them when I want to get somewhere quick, and I don't when I don't need to. But if we don't find another way to find roads in the state with energy efficiency, with cars that don't even use gas anymore, we're going to run out of money to build roads. Do we want to increase the personal income tax? Do we want to increase the sales tax? Do we want to do a Pontius Pilate, push it down on the counties and increase your property taxes? Sooner or later, we've got to figure out how to pay for roads. It's not easy. But it's, and then, oh, wait, how about vehicle miles traveled? That's a real popular one, right? So, for those who oppose tolls, please put in the resolution how you're going to pay for it. Because you're telling legislators what you can do, but you're not telling us how we can do it. And I will oppose the resolution.